So one of the big trends, and we hear a lot about it on LinkedIn or what have you, in terms of, just this 2.2% or whatever number that goes from VC funding to women founders. What's your take on what's driving that low number? I think we've established at least some of the papers I've seen in terms of bias, but what else is out there? What else are we missing in that discourse on only 2% goes to women?
Yeah, so a lot of it is just based off of who the investors are, right? So if you look at who gets funding, the percentage is very closely aligned with who is writing the checks. So we need more diverse venture capitalists. The good news is that angel investing is now about 35, 40% women. And so you are seeing much more diversity in angel checks. But unfortunately, angel checks can only get you so far. And so we need that diversity shift in the later stage rounds of investing. The other thing I will say is on the founder side, there's a lot of chatter about women founders being more capital efficient. And that is true. The data proves that very, very clearly. But it's also because women founders are raising less funding. And some of that is because they're able to raise less funding. But I find that even off the bats, they will often ask for less funding. And that makes it a little bit harder to then get to your Series A and your Series B. So I always tell women founders, especially, bump up a little bit what you're asking for. I would argue it is just as hard to raise a $2 million round as it is to raise a $3 million round.
I'm hearing about this post-funding gap where you get your first round from angels, but then you're not far enough along, to your point earlier about the seed stage, right? What are your thoughts? Are you seeing that? And where can founders, especially women, go to access that or address that post-funding gap?
Absolutely. So if you look at any chart that shows percentage of funding to female founders by stage, it is a very clear sharp drop as you get to later stages. The advice I give to women founders, first of all, if you think about the actual investor conversations, there's research actually out of Columbia Business School that shows that investors ask male and female founders different questions. They tend to ask male founders promotion-based questions. Tell me how you're going to become the next unicorn. And they ask female founders prevention-based questions. How are you going to prevent Google from stealing your market share? So I always tell women founders, when someone asks you a prevention-based question, answer it, and then answer the promotion-based question they didn't ask you. I also think that women founders need to not only build their network, but very intentionally leverage their network. So if I think about the emails I get on a daily basis, I get a lot more emails from women hesitantly asking me for help. Like, can I take you to coffee? I want to pick your brain. And I get many more emails from male founders saying, these 3 Series D investors. Can you introduce me? Here's an email that you can write to them. Boom. And so be aggressive about asking for help and really leveraging your network, and then make it really easy for people to help you.
If you find these conversations helpful in your own journey, please subscribe to Seed to Success, our weekly community letter with tips, insights, resources, and more. If you have any other questions relating to startup finance or financial storytelling, send them over to me at chakras@achieve.co. That's CHAKRAS@ACHIIV.co.